like he did the last time, Ortiz gonna finish him.
Wow.
So he gotta tighten up his defense.
10 steps behind you, right?
He gotta tighten up his defense. Boots looked like himself. He was sharp, he was explosive, and the experience that he carried in the ring allowed him to be victorious that night, and his skills and talent.
Did you think he would look like that, or did you think he would look better, worse? What were you expecting going in?
I wasn't expecting anything.
Okay.
I was just expecting to watch Xander fight and Boots fight, and that was it. And I know he's faster than most. He's more explosive than most, but at the same time, he's shown in the past that he can get careless and that he's going out there just to fight, and I don't think when you get higher and higher, that's going to be enough.
Eddie said this would be a massive fight, you versus him.
And they're just doing whatever happens. And then whatever it's going to be is what it's going to be.
He ain't that damn good, Sean, that he could do that?
He's that damn good, but when moments like that happen against this level, a 23-year-old, when that moment happens against a 23-year-old, is different from when a moment like that happens against a Virgil Ortiz, a Sebastian Fundora. Not only are they more mature, but they're also more experienced in the ring. He does not get out of those moments.
Real strong guy. His knockout ratio is very high. What he got, like one, maybe two fights where it wasn't a KO?
Yeah, yep.
Xander don't have a high knockout rate, right?
Right.
13 KOs.
Out of how many fights?
Was it 25?
13 and 23 wins.
Okay.
Which is kind of low in the beginning of your career. Usually, I think him and Ortiz will be an even more entertaining fight if they fight than last night. I think they're gonna go toe to toe, and it's really gonna be who can take the other one's punch.
Mm-hmm.
And Fundora,
the boxing world is completely blinded by the hype right now, treating a massive title win like an absolute masterpiece when it might actually have been the beginning of the end. Everyone is praising Jaron Boots Ennis as the next undisputed king, celebrating his recent victory as proof that he's ready to take over the entire sport.
I think we overhyping this victory in a sense where nobody picked Xander to win. I think it's going to be different when he goes up against a Fundora or a Virgil, because if one of those guys get him hurt like Xander did, I don't think it's going to be the same outcome. I don't worry about coming back to prove anything, but the only thing that I can say is I'm 10 steps ahead of him.
But while casual fans are cheering, the pound-for-pound king himself, Terence "Bud" Crawford, has completely blown that narrative wide open. Crawford didn't just hesitate to join the praise. He completely dismissed the hype, warning that what looked like a dominant performance was actually a deeply flawed display that exposed some incredibly dangerous habits. To the trained eye, that victory didn't prove greatness. It revealed the exact blueprint needed to completely dismantle the rising star.
So my breakdown with Boots and Xander is, I felt like Xander fought the wrong fight, but, a lot of people knew Xander was green and he was taking a fight too soon. But at the same time, you can't exchange with somebody that's faster than you and more athletic than you. So I thought that was the wrong game plan in his own right. Boots is more faster, sharper, especially in the exchanges. And I think that's what led Xander to get hurt the times that he did get hurt, because he got caught with a shot that he didn't see.
Hey, but speaking to that though, real quick, and I'm sure you're going to agree with this, he had to, at some point, find moments to exchange with Boots in order to try to get off. I think ultimately that was how he was able to land that big punch that he landed in the third round. He had to be able to take chances, but the green in him didn't have the understanding as to when to take those chances. That's my point. That's where experience come into play.
Yeah. Knowing when to exchange, when not to exchange. When to move, when to hold. Like if you watched when he got real hurt, real bad, he didn't know when to hold. And we all yelling like, grab him. He's right there to be grabbed. Yeah. And, the Puerto Rican heart in him led him not to grab and
Right.
take more punishment than needed, you know.
Right.
So it was a great fight, you know. Boots showed heart, he showed grit, Xander showed tremendous heart. But I just think, you know, going forward, you know, both of them gonna have to sharpen up.
Sure.
The cracks in the armor became glaringly obvious the moment you looked beyond the final result of the Xander Zayas fight. Crawford pointed out that Ennis was constantly getting caught, thrown off balance, and visibly wobbled by shots that an elite fighter simply shouldn't be absorbing. Boots has a dangerous habit of throwing one punch too many, overextending himself, and completely neglecting his guard in favor of chasing a spectacular finish. Against Zayas, he managed to recover and push through. But Crawford's warning was chillingly simple. If a legitimate world-class finisher catches Ennis with those exact same clean shots, the referee won't be raising his hand at the end of the night. You can only play with fire for so long before someone with truly devastating power makes you pay the ultimate price.
I think it's going to be different when he goes up against a Fundora or a Virgil, because if one of those guys get him hurt like Xander did, I don't think it's going to be the same outcome.
That brings us to the ultimate nightmare matchup Crawford believes will eventually ruin Ennis's perfect record. Sebastian Fundora is an absolute anomaly in the boxing world, a towering physical presence whom Crawford openly describes as a literal cheat code at 154 pounds.
What's even more shocking than all the above is that when Crawford was asked about who would win a fight between Fundora and Jaron Boots Ennis right now, shockingly, Crawford said Fundora. He believes Fundora is a cheat code at 154 and he can beat Jaron Ennis. That he believes he will beat Jaron Ennis. And that's a mega fight. That's a huge fight. But I must say, I'm shocked by Crawford's response to the question picking Fundora over Jaron Ennis. Remember, Fundora was knocked out by Mendoza not too long ago. So clearly Crawford was impressed by Fundora's performance against Keith Thurman. And when Crawford was being asked about, do you regret not fighting Keith Thurman at 147? He said no. And that's a silly question because Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Bud at 147. For like years, Top Rank tried to make the fight, and no one wanted to see Bud Crawford in general. But now everyone want to talk. What's funny, everyone was ducking Bud. But the ones that didn't, they ended up finding out what time it is, why he was being...
Fundora isn't just a giant. He has drastically evolved his style to maximize his massive reach and devastatingly sharp jab, keeping opponents trapped on the outside. Imagine Boots trying to march forward with his guard down, throwing those extra reckless combinations against a guy who can hit him from across the ring. Crawford is firmly convinced that Fundora's unique dimensions and relentless pace would turn Ennis's defensive lapses into a complete disaster, creating a stylistic trap that the young champion simply isn't equipped to escape.
You know, you talked about Boots and Virgil, but what do you think about Boots and Fundora after that performance?
Well, I'm saying, yeah. I
You
wouldn't
favored
rush
him
to that.
in that fight too?
I'm a favorite him, but like I'm saying, you know, Fundora, man, that range, you know, that range, he got to get past that range, you know, and he has good timing, and he throws the uppercuts, and you know, and he's standing up, you know, so these are great fights. That's a great fight, you know, that's a great fight. I don't know how he does in that fight. I think he does well. I can't say who will win, you know, like I say, I'm not Nostradamus. I was just thinking that I'm not. I know people love predictions because it's like fun. You know, people just want to hear what other people got to say. But like I'm saying, I couldn't tell you who would win that fight. I just know there are great fights to be had and made, and styles make fights. And I think they both tremendous talents. And I would love to see those guys go to work.
The drama behind this potential clash goes much deeper than standard stylistic matchups, stretching into a web of backstage politics and missed opportunities. Crawford himself actually tried to lock down a fight with Fundora not long ago, but Fundora's management completely shut it down, claiming that a matchup with Errol Spence Jr. would be a much bigger draw.
I want to fight Fundora. You know what I mean? He got 2 belts. I want to become undisputed at 154. That was my train of thought. But when he said he didn't want to fight me because I wasn't basically big enough. I looked at him like, huh? I don't sell. That's what his handlers were saying. Oh, I don't sell, and they want to fight Errol Spence because he's a bigger fighter.
But you knew what that was, though.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool, Crawford.
The Fundora thing, you seen that play coming a mile away. Like, as soon as that fight was even talked about, I said it's going to be a phone call made, and he finna walk that back. Whether he wanted to fight or not, he wasn't going to be allowed to, and you know that. You know, Allen had made that call and was like, nah, we ain't going.
A surprising excuse, considering Crawford had just dismantled Spence. But it shows how strategic these teams are when managing their fighters. At the same time, Crawford has made it clear that both Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis already missed their golden opportunity to share the ring with him. Ortiz declined a mandatory order, while Boots reportedly claimed he wasn't ready to make the jump to 147 pounds when the offer was actively on the table. Crawford even shut down critics like Ryan Garcia, reminding everyone that he has spent his entire career defeating younger, hungrier lions, and he isn't about to let anyone rewrite his legacy.
Win, lose, or draw, he's the ticket. I'll fight Terence Crawford. Come on, man. Boots had a chance to fight me. Virgil Ortiz had an opportunity to fight me, you know, but now everybody, I'll fight Terence, or I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, okay, cool. When y'all had y'all opportunity, you know, y'all went elsewhere. But now that y'all see I'm the ticket, now y'all like, oh yeah, we want to fight Terence Crawford. We want Terence Crawford. That's the narrative now. We want to fight.
We can get it on. So he says, what about you coming up? I said, no. I'm with Showtime. You know what I mean? I said, now, if you want to make the fight, you call Steven Espinoza and talk to him, discuss that. Because that's who we with, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know? And when I said that, I said, plus I'm loyal to these guys. I don't just leave and go to another, promotional company or what.
This harsh reality check has completely divided the boxing community, sparking massive debates across every sports forum and social media platform. A huge wave of fans has pushed back against Crawford, calling him a bitter hater who is simply nitpicking because he sees a younger, faster fighter threatening his throne. They argue that Ennis's offense is so overwhelming and his power so explosive that Fundora wouldn't even be able to handle the sheer speed and pressure.
Young man is a phenom. He has everything that boxing takes. You know what I'm saying? My downfall came from me. You know what I'm saying? I beat my own self. You know what I mean? I don't want to no fight you see me in the way I was destroyed, beat up, and ran over. I beat me. I mean, come on, you know. That's another conversation.
Right.
Another conversation. But yeah, back to Xander, take this fight different, brother. Take the fight different. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, step to the side, do what you got to do. Take a tune-up fight, sharpen your swords up, sharpen your knives up, and then come back and revisit the situation if that's your route. Or you might want to take another route. And, there's more belts out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's still more belts to go grab and put together. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You disagree?
No.
I disagree that was more explosive than Boots. I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, Boots, these guys was calm. They took their time, patient. I went in there round one. We're gonna find out everything. You know how I was, Mill. Round one, we're gonna figure all this stuff out in round one.
On the flip side, hardcore purists and seasoned analysts are fiercely defending Crawford's breakdown. They see the exact same red flags, pointing out that a double standard exists where Ennis gets a pass for glaring defensive mistakes that would have any other fighter heavily criticized. The consensus among many experts is beginning to shift, with more of them agreeing that the sheer size and reach of a giant like Fundora might be the wall Ennis finally crashes into.
Critical about Boots yet, specifically, primarily, because I wanted you on here for this. Now, the kid is not game planning. The dad is not game planning. They're showing up to the ring. They're showing up to the ring, and they're just doing whatever happens. And then whatever it's gonna be is what it's gonna be.
He ain't that damn good, Sean, that he could do that?
He's that damn good, but when moments like that happen against this level competition, a 23-year-old, when that moment happens against a 23-year-old, is different But when a moment like that happens against a Virgil Ortiz, a Sebastian Fundora, not only are they more mature, but they're also more experienced in the ring. He does not get out of those moments, out of that moment with those guys. And I was talking to somebody. Go ahead.
To Sean's point, I think, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're getting at is even Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan needed the triangle. Even, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, he needed a Bill Belichick system, and you need a system and a coach with the game plan to execute at the highest level.
I'm talking to somebody last night. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna throw the ball to 9. I want you to take it from there. Now, I was talking to somebody, like I said, very close to Boots last night. I said, listen, the problem is, I said, you can have all the talent in the world. This is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens against the New England Patriots. They're never getting past New England, don't matter how amazing Lamar is. So much talent, far more talented than Tom Brady, but does not have a system, does not systematically go into the ring.
Meanwhile, renowned trainer Robert Garcia stepped forward to express supreme confidence in his own fighter, reminding everyone of Ortiz's spectacular recent masterclasses that proved he is far more than just a raw puncher. The insider debate showed that this wasn't just internet chatter. The very minds that have shaped the sport couldn't agree on who would survive this inevitable collision.
Boots versus Virgil is probably a bigger fight and a bigger... it could turn out to be a much better fight. I think both are warriors. Boots just showed it. And I think style-wise, it's a beautiful fight.
You're picking Fundora. Is that based off of, Boots getting hurt, or is that just because Fundora's kind of been on a roll recently?
But both. I think after we all seen that Boots does get hurt and he got hurt, I think everybody could feel the same way about Fundora versus Boots, Virgil versus Boots. Fundora is showing that he's got great power too, but he's just too awkward, too difficult, too tall for anybody. So that's why that's my opinion. I could be wrong, and Boots goes and destroys Fundora. That'd be beautiful too. He's in boxing. He's a great name for boxing. Great fighter that could become the next big superstar also. But look, I have Virgil in the same weight division. So obviously we have to also push for that. Because
ultimately, this leaves Boots Ennis standing at a massive crossroads in his career, with an ominous warning hanging over his head. Winning titles is one thing, but defending them against the true monsters of the division is an entirely different challenge. If Crawford is right and Ennis refuses to tighten his defense or respect the power of the bigger men at 154 pounds, his time at the top could be incredibly short-lived. The flaws have been exposed. The blueprint is out there, and the elite finishers are watching. It forces us to ask the ultimate question. Is Jaron Boots Ennis truly the future of boxing? Or is he simply a spectacular offensive machine waiting to be completely dismantled by a disciplined giant? What do you think? Can Boots continue his dominant performances at 154 pounds against the likes of Virgil Ortiz and Sebastian Fundora? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.